Okay, guys, we're doing metric measurements now. We're doing the opposite. I want you to think back to when we were doing the decimals and how when we multiplied or divided, we just moved the decimal. This is exactly the same thing. Converting measurements in the metrics is so much easier than the other. There's just having to remember the order in which they go. So let's look at this, and I think you'll see it's going to be very easy for you. Using a map, Alex estimates the distance between his house and his grandparents' house is about 15,000 meters. About how many kilometers away from his grandpa's house does Alex live? The metric system is based on the place value. Each unit is related to the next largest or smallest unit of the power of tens. So let's just look at this first. Meters, liters, and grams is our basic measurements here. So from meters, liters, or grams, that's why it's called a kilometer. So we're talking about meters. The next one that we go to is a decameter, and then a hectometer, and then a kilometer. So those are getting greater by the power of 10. So if this is 1, this is 10 times more, this is 100 times more, this is 1,000 times more. If we're going the other way, that's getting smaller by the power of 10, so we're dividing. So then we have a decimeter, a centimeter, and a millimeter. So what we have to do is find the relationship between the units. Meters are how many times power of 10 smaller than kilo? Well, they're 3 powers of 10 smaller than a kilometer. There are how many meters in 1 kilometer? There are 3,000 or 1,000 times smaller. Should say 1,000. Because just like I did for here, if this was 1, this is 10, this is 100, this is 1,000. Okay, so there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So determine the order operation that will be used. I am converting a meter a smaller unit, because meters is smaller than the larger one. So same rule when we're converting. So when we're going from smaller to larger, we're going to divide. So 15,000 divided by 1,000 equals, well, just tells me I'm going to write this number. And if I'm dividing, I'm going to go back 3 spaces, and my answer is 15. Oops, sorry. So I was dividing 15,000 divided by 1,000. And I just knew that if I'm dividing, my number is going to get smaller. So I have to go back. How many places are in 1,000? 3. If I go back 3 places, I get 15. A lot simpler than converting. We just have to memorize this part. And you should have that sheet in yours. All right, so Jamie made a bracelet that is 1.8 decameters long. How many milliliters long is that? Okay, so we're going to the milli, and so we're at deca. Since the unit is a decimeter, place the decimal point to show the decimeters in the unit. All right, so we did that right here. So it's 1.8. And cross out the decimal point and move it to show a millo. So we got to get way over to here to show a millo. and write a 0 in here. So what did we end up doing? We changed it to 180. So really what we did is take 1.8 times how many places? 2 times 100. We have 1.8. We move it 2 spots. We're at 180. So we know it's 180 millo because we went from larger to smaller, so we multiply. Okay? I love doing metric because it's just, if we remember our decimal, when we did our decimals and we're moving the place value on place 10, a lot easier. Convert 247 milligrams to centigrams, decagrams, and grams. Okay. Are the units being converted to a larger unit or a smaller unit? Well, we started at millo and we're going to convert to a larger unit. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to divide. So that means our number is going to get smaller each time. So we have 247, and there is from a milli to a centi is 1, so we're going to divide it by 10. So that means we move our place value 1 spot. Oops, sorry. Move our place 1 spot. So I just wrote it. And so we're dividing. So I'm just going to write that same number in here. And I know out of 100, it's 2 places. So I'm moving my decimal 2 places. Here it's 247 again. And 1,000 has 3 places. So I move it 3 places. It's 247 thousandths. Okay. Convert 3 and 9 hectoliters to a decaliter, liters and centimeters. So, and a decimeter. So let's look. So we're starting off with a heco. So we're starting here and we're going which way? So we're going back. So our numbers are going to get, or we're going smaller. So when would we multiply or would we divide? Well, we're going from smaller to larger. So we multiply. No, we're going larger to smaller. Hold it. I gotta look. So we're going heca. So we're going larger to smaller. So our units are going to get. Are the units being converted to a large unit or a smaller unit? We're going to a smaller unit. So we're starting off with a large unit. We're going to a smaller unit. So when we go from a large to a small, we multiply. Okay, so we should multiply. So we know our numbers are going to stay the same because it's a power of 10. Here was our decimal. If our number is going to get larger because we're multiplying, it's going to be 39. So if I do 3 and 9/10 hecameters, it's 39. Plus 2 spots is a 0. Plus 3 spots is 3,900. Okay. So now we're going to show what we know. I think you understand this pretty well, so I would like you just to do 1 and 2 to know that. 4 and 5, and pick one from this row. Pick one from this row. All right, with your partner. Here, I would like you to do the evens. 1 or 2, and all of the bottom ones. Converting using metric is just a matter of moving the decimal because it's base place value. Give it your best shot.